Okay, we are now recording. Welcome to first ever lads call on Zoom. Matthew, good morning to you. How are you? Good lad. So I'm going to kick it off, Brian, by saying thank you very much. I'm going to give you the title of today's talk is 3 Elements to Success. But what I want to know from you first of all is a quick bio of yourself and your pre-use plus experience, how you saw the product, your initial thoughts, and then you can go into your 3 elements to success chat. So,
awesome. Well, thank you for the opportunity. You might want to. Do you want to spotlight me? If you click on me, if you can spotlight me, so I come up in the middle.
Is that it?
Can anyone else see me?
I can see you, but just in a little.
Yeah.
Just in the normal, not up big.
If you right click on my little photo, and it'll show me spotlight.
Now.
If I get started, it might switch to me.
Yay. Right click. What do I need to do now, boss?
Is there an option there to spotlight me?
Yeah, spotlight video.
Yep, do that. Boom,
There
I'm
it
on.
is.
Here we go. Well, boys.
Happy days.
Look at this.
This is all new.
We'll never look back. Awesome. Well, my name's Bryan Marsh, and I am a husband to my beautiful wife, Fiona, and we have 4 little kids under the age of 8. A bit about my history, I suppose, is that I've always been around some sort of marketing role. One of my first jobs out of school was for a company called Queensland Basketball, which was running basketball in Queensland. And my role was to seek out sponsorship. I was around 19, 20 at the time, and I landed some good accounts from Qantas to Coca-Cola, which were worth millions of dollars. So I was pretty happy with that. A part of that role was that we were looking to take basketball online through the digital age. Websites were coming about at that stage. So one of my tasks was to build a website and try and get live scores happening through that. And that kind of, at that stage, I worked out I was pretty passionate around digital technology, IT. So I went to university and studied IT. In my second year of university, I started a business, which I still have today, called i4u, which is a website and software development business. In my second year, we got really busy. There was a boom around websites, and I was too busy to finish my IT degree, but business was going well. So that was i4u. i4u is a website development, software development company. We work for companies such as Versace through to small to medium-sized businesses. A couple of years later, we found that we were doing a lot of work around the tourism industry, and we rolled out our tourism clients into another brand called eTourism, which is a digital marketing company for hotels and resorts. I still have both those businesses. We still have approximately 20 staff in those businesses. eTourism's point of difference is we take over a digital marketing strategy for a hotel. We would sit with a hotel, see how they performed over the last year, and then guarantee to increase their online bookings through their website by XYZ. And if we didn't hit that target within 12 months, we would work for free in the second 12 months. That business, the way we structured that business was residual income, which is why I love this business that we're now in, because instead of taking a hit up front for a sale on a website or photos or social media, we were able to take ongoing payments, and they were performance payments. So we would drive business to a website and we would get paid when someone booked through the website. So instead of being paid up front, we were paid over 2, 3, 4, 5 years. And we were able to build our business around that because we knew money was coming in the bank every month instead of it being a $5,000 project here and a $10,000 project there. So that has taught us a lot about commission-only sales work in a digital digital arena, which I've definitely used some of those skills in the business that we're in now. So that's, I suppose, a little bit about what's led us to where we are at. When we first started Juice Plus, Juice Plus came into our life in February of this year. My wife has been a stay-at-home mum for 4 or 5 years, and she was looking to go back to work, not from a financial perspective that we needed to, more around just getting out of the house and getting a hobby and kind of finding herself. But she was fairly anxious about that because she is a school teacher, or was a school teacher, and she was a special needs school teacher. So she was looking to go back into the relief world, but very anxious about what days she would be called into work, not knowing, you'd get the call in the morning. So we reached out to friends of ours, Adam and Kira, who are our upline. We had known them for 8 or 9 years. Previous to Juice Plus, we used to train at their studios. Fiona, my wife, and Kira had their first child around the same time. So we developed a bit of a relationship. It wasn't very close, but we knew them. We hung out sometimes. Over the last 4 or 5 years, we didn't see too much of them. We reached out to them because we saw the struggles they had in their traditional business, their small business, their 3 fitness studios. And then we saw the success that they had created in Juice Plus in just 18 months. So we reached out to them. We had questions. We wanted those questions answered. I and my wife knew nothing about network marketing. We heard a little bit about Juice Plus, but again, knew nothing about Juice Plus. Some of those questions were, did we need to know a lot of people? Everyone wants to know if it's a pyramid scheme. And we're upfront with them about that. And we had those questions answered. So going into that meeting, we didn't have any expectations. As I shared that I'm in traditional business, so I understand business models. The I for You business, we got paid to build software for different businesses. So a part of my role would be to learn different businesses and different business models all the time. So I've always been a student of business and just different models. So when Adam explained to us this network marketing business, a lot of it just made sense to me from day one. So we had those questions answered, and we made a decision to go for it. Kira and Adam got us on the product straight away. They said, you need to be a user of the product. You need to be a product of the product. That was around the 15th or earlier in February. And they said, look, don't buy your franchise until the end of the month. But we got home and we were ready to go. So we reached back out to them and said, no, we want to buy the franchise now and get happening. So that's kind of led us to February. Mick, should I just go on with what I think the 3 elements that have helped us?
You far ahead, Brian. At the end, I'll just fling some questions at you.
Awesome, buddy. So Adam taught me in the beginning that there was 3 elements to success: willingness, being teachable, and desire. And Adam Westwick is our upline. Actually, I'm directly under Kira. But yeah, so we spent a bit of time with them in the beginning. The 3 elements are willingness, having a willingness, being teachable, and having a desire. So I'm going to break each of those down because that's definitely what I believe are the 3 important things that's helped me, our franchise, get to NMD within 8 months and hit 42 clubs. So recognize 39 in that quick amount of time. So willingness, when we first went to Adam and Kira, we had no belief in the product and no belief in the business. We knew nothing about it. And I believe willingness comes after belief. You need to believe in something. What we did have was we trusted Kira. We had known that she had been on a whole food journey for 8 or 9 years, and we trusted her. So we weren't even on the product. We started taking the product, but we believed in Kira and we believed her. So our belief around the product from day one happened. We knew nothing about the business, nothing about network marketing, had never been in network marketing before. Everyone obviously hears about the horror stories of Amway presentations and inviting people around and bringing out the flip chart. And my parents had been through that, but we didn't want to get caught up in anything like that. And to be honest, that's kind of the old way of doing things. But had never been approached by our friends or anything to join a network marketing. So, fairly new. You can put someone on mute. I think you're right, click on them.
Right.
Yeah, so no belief in the business, but I had seen with my own eyes the success that Adam and Kira had created. I had seen where they'd come from, and I'd seen where they were in 18 months. So that was enough for me. That was enough to see what they had done, where they had been and what they had done. So the belief in the industry and the business grew kind of immediately. Obviously, I went away and did more research, watched Rise of the Entrepreneur, which was amazing because I saw some of those marketing people. Chris Brogan, I think, is on that video, who I had been following in my traditional business for 8 or 9 years. And then to see him in a network marketing video was just, wow, these two worlds really do coexist. So that cemented my belief in the industry and the business. And there were a number of light bulb moments. In my traditional business, I would bring on a client, but that client would maybe possibly give me referrals, like the Versace brand. We got a lot of referrals out of that brand, but the Versace would never go out and bring on more clients and teach those clients. And network marketing just blew my mind as a smart model. I love helping people, and the more people you help in this business, the easier it is to create some success. So we jumped in, we went in, and we went hard from day one. There was no dipping toes for us. So we had the willingness once we had the belief. So the belief came, and then the willingness came. The second part of that is the teachable side of things. Within a week of joining the Juice Plus business, I ran into a friend who's actually a neighbor of ours. His name is Keith Abraham. Keith is a motivational speaker. He works with a number of big corporate brands, but he also works with a network marketer on the Gold Coast that has hundreds of thousands of distributors under him in the Amway business through Indonesia. And he gave me a piece of advice. He said, people that treat network marketing, whatever it is, as a business, will be successful. And that was a light bulb moment for me. It made a lot of sense. I went away and I thought about, well, how do I need to treat this business any different to a normal business? And I didn't. I realized that I didn't. What I realized I needed to do was be teachable. I was buying a franchise. And the reason why I was buying a franchise is because I believed in the system. People buy franchises because there's success in the system. You go and buy a Glory Jeans franchise or a Zarafa's franchise or whatever. You buy that because there's a system in place that works. You're not going to go buy a franchise of a business that's failing, right? Or a model that's failing. So I had seen with my own eyes the success Adam and Kira had created. And I was practically buying a franchise. So I needed to be teachable and plug into the system. And I needed to do what they said, especially in the beginning. So that made a lot of sense to me. The whole teachable side, like my traditional businesses are successful. They've been around for 18 years. They give us a good lifestyle. So it would have been easier for me to come into this business and not be teachable and come into this business and go, hey, I know everything. I can show you guys how to do it. But from day one, I got around Kira, got around Adam, learned as much as I could and just plugged into the system because I was buying a franchise. And I think that was one of our biggest things, that once we realized that it was a franchise we were buying, Adam, Kira, our uplines, Linda, they didn't create the system. They were teachable. And the reason for they've had their success is because they were teachable, and they were teachable around the system that they had implemented and seen success with other people. So I knew I needed to do that. I knew I needed to be teachable. I needed to just plug in and fall in line. And I did that. And it would have been easy for us in the beginning not to do that, but it's definitely helped our success. So definitely being teachable. In traditional business, no one shows you the way. There's no one out there saying, hey, you've got a website development or a marketing business, go and do this, 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 and you're going to be successful. But in our business that we're in, everyone's teaching you what to do. It's an amazing model, like, because their success relies on your success. In my traditional business, my staff rely on me for my success. But in this business, it doesn't happen. My success is my success. I don't blame my upline, my downline, my sidelines for my success or my failure. It's my own. I'm responsible for that. So once I realized that, how different this business model was, I soaked up as much as I could about the business and understanding network marketing. And, I suppose I think about, I wish I'd got in it earlier, but it just wouldn't have been the right time for me. I probably wouldn't have been open enough. I would have had more of an ego or whatever. But I think we just got in at the right time. The third thing is desire. And I think everyone has desires. Some people can't articulate those desires. We had never been one for vision boards or working out where we wanted to be. In my traditional business, we had goals, obviously, around sales and customer acquisition and strategies and that. But when Adam and Kira asked us about our why and being able to articulate that, it took us some time. Originally, when we got into the business, it was to replace Fiona's income so she didn't have to go back to work. But it was more about giving her a hobby of something to do, something that she could be passionate about, because Fiona's never had anything to do with our business. So it's always been businesses that I've run. So in the beginning, it was to replace Fiona's income. I suppose the bigger goal was to replace the profit in our business, 25, 30 grand a month, so we could one day separate them and move them on, or just raise up staff to take over them so we could focus on this, because I'd seen the lifestyle that Adam and Kira were creating. So that was definitely something that we worked out. And then when we thought about it more, it was to get out of debt, help our parents retire, because our parents are still in their 60s and still working. So we kind of put the pain around, what could we achieve to help people that are in pain? Quite quickly in the business, 4 or 5 months into the business, we replaced Fiona's income. So that happened pretty quickly. And we saw where we were going, and we knew that we were going to hit those goals pretty quickly. This month, including bonuses, we kind of hit our stretch goals of replacing the profit in our business. So we were very happy about that. But 3 or 4 months into the business, we realized that the quickest way for us to hit our goals was helping other people hit their goals. And that was a big shift for us. The shift was, this business really is about helping other people. And, that's from SC, SSC above. You can't move along in this business without helping people. When we entered Q, we already had structure for NMD. We were already set for it. And that was because we have loved on our people and we've helped our people. So that was it. There was definitely a shift in us to go, yes, we've got goals. Yes, we know we're going to hit those goals. And yes, it's good to have vision boards and that. But really our desire at the moment is to have 5 of our team at 39 Club by the June conference. And we're working every day on that. 2 or 3 will definitely be there, probably 3, and we're still working on the 4th and 5th to get them into the flow. So our desire quickly shifted to it being about our team. And when that happened, man, it just got easy. It just got about helping people, loving on people, serving people. And, the quickest way for us to hit our desire is to help more people. And we realized that pretty quickly. So they're the 3 things, Mick. I've got some other things that I learned along the way, but if you've got questions that you wanted to ask me about any of that, do that now if you want.
It'd be hard pressed to find any questions in amongst that lot, Brian. Go on, pal. So look,
okay.
Never heard you present like that before, but it's easy to see why you've been one of the quickest NMDs on the planet, per se, because that sort of approach, the willingness, teachable and desire, and to hear it explained like that has been phenomenal. So I want to thank you very much for your time and articulating all of that. Out of that, of course, there's a couple of questions, okay? Not in any order, just as us.
Yep.
Just want to go back to one of the last things you said. 3 or 4 months into the business, there was a shift, because then you said you would then looked to help people. Prior, in that first 3 or 4 months, was there a blockage? Was there something that hadn't quite clicked in for you?
I don't think there was a blockage. We just hadn't thought about it. Like
Right.
Fiona and I have always been, we're Christ followers, so we've always been giving.
Yes.
But we've never really had an avenue in our traditional business where we can help people.
Yes.
We're very passionate about helping mums.
Yes.
Our target audience is mums and families. That's who everything we do in our business is focused on that. And I think people can see that in us when they see any of the content we put together. It's always focused on that. So there definitely wasn't a blockage. It was just more, it started to make sense.
Yes.
That it's more about other people than it is about us. And once we just came to that realization, it was just easy.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was just really easy. So I don't think there was a blockage. It was just us just stumbling upon that.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, good job. One of the things I'm always fascinated by, Brian, is people's attitude to when they take on the business. And you mentioned early on the piece, but can you just, I guess, reinforce that it is actually work? It is hard work at times. A simple business, not easy to do all at once. Can you just elaborate on that for a second for everybody?
Yeah, definitely. So, yeah, it's simple, but it's not easy.
Yeah.
It's simple. The business model is simple. It is simple. People teach you what to do, and you don't get that in traditional business. But it's not easy. It's just work. Do you know what I mean? And Fiona and I jumped in. We didn't dip our toes. We were mature enough to go, this is the avenue where we're going to be able to hit our goals and help people. And we went hard at it. And we've put in a lot of time. And because of our other businesses that we've got, I was able to raise up staff around that and kind of handle those while we're focused on this. So, I mean, we went into action, massive action, and we went in quick. And that's definitely helped us. So, yeah, simple, but it's hard. It's work. Do you know what I mean?
Very good. I'm also just curious about the stretch of the vision board, and how did that stretch you guys to sort of get your head around a vision board and then articulate and extrapolate all those things out?
Yeah, look, we found I think some of this is like the culture around being in church, and I think a lot of the culture is that to put those things on your vision board. I don't know. It's probably the wrong thing. I feel like it was the wrong thing to do in the culture around church, because, it's supposed to be more about other people than it is about yourself. But once we did it and we saw that there was money, there was the car that I wanted, the house that we wanted, it was kind of, we realized that it was going to happen anyway because we were visualizing it.
Yes.
But quite quickly that changed to 5 people hitting 39 Club, because I knew that those 5 people would be on around $100,000 or $8,000 to $10,000 a month.
Yes.
Around that. That just drives us. We're in this with our best friends too. Like, I'm in this with my best friend Fiona. We've never been in business together, so we're passionate about being together. But one of the first people we introduced to this was our best friends, Jody and Bart. And as Jay Martin said, it's easy to do it with a buddy.
Yes.
And my values line up with the Bible, and Jesus teaches us that it's easier to be in business or to work with 2 people, because if someone falls over, the other person can help you up.
Yes.
And the reason why disciples went out in 2. So when Jay Martin said that at conference, that he said, find a buddy and do this business with a buddy, and that was it. And if I look at our team, the rock stars in our team have the support of the partner. The partner might not be in the business, but the husband or the wife or whoever it is supporting them. The ones that don't have the support are dipping their toes in and aren't really fully committed.
Okay, great point. A great point. You mentioned about Jay and conferencing, the importance of getting to events, whether they be local, international conferences, the importance of getting to them. Can you reiterate how important it is? As far as I'm concerned, it's incredibly important, but just your opinion from your short time doing all of this.
Yeah, definitely. Like, we have, we've been at a live event on the Gold Coast. Linda runs one every Thursday night.
Yeah.
And then we have a number of our online Zoom events that
Yes.
our team have, like 6 or 7 through the week. They're the cornerstone of this business. They're definitely the cornerstone of being able to get people to an event. Now, the live events, we were just in Sydney and Newcastle. We were involved in running them.
Yes.
They're special. They're powerful because you can see the person across the table from you that's committed to this business. So you're not the only one there. There's power in numbers. There's confidence in numbers. So I think when you're sitting with other people that are in the business or joining the business, it gives you some confidence that you're not making the wrong decision, or you're not doing this alone. Conference, we were 3 months into the business. We went to the Melbourne conference and we saw, wow, there's 800 people here. This is awesome. And everyone's like, juice plus, juice plus. I went to St. Louis a month ago and we saw 8,000 people there and saw how big this could be. And what I took away from that was Australia will be there in a couple of years. I honestly believe that 2-3 years we'll have 8,000 people at that conference, and we're playing a part of that.
Absolutely.
There's a growth happening at the moment, and it's exciting to be in a business like that. So look, events get run. Jeff Roberti teaches, which I took away, was the quickest way to master something is to teach it.
Yeah.
And we were growing so quick that Kira and Adam pushed us out of the nest. They said, look, you've got to run your own events. You've got to go and do your own thing. And when that happened, that was another time that our business switched gears, because I was forced to run an event. I was forced to teach. And when you start teaching, it all kind of makes more sense, like how we get paid, like the product, it all kind of makes sense. And, we've got 70-ish people on our events on Tuesday night. It's amazing. 20 or 30 prospects were on there last night. It's awesome being able to just be a part of that virtual world.
That's brilliant. I'll just open it up to the other lads. If anybody has a question, Darren or Kerry or Matthew, just unmute yourselves and launch into it.
Yeah, I've got a question for you, Bryan. Just in terms of treating it as a business, what was the DMO that you put in place to help support that? You're obviously still doing your own job, and you said that you supported the staff to take over running the business to free you up. What sort of DMO did you implement then?
Yeah, so I was able to raise up staff. I had key staff in my traditional business, and the traditional business was I just kind of got around those people, empowered them so I could step away. So in the beginning, it was obviously I needed to do a bit of research on the industry and on the product. And then it was around, I came into this, we were taught that events and high-paying activities, events and starting conversations. And to me, where we innovated was around starting conversations. We used social media to start a lot of conversations and generate a lot of interest. So the DMO for me was definitely around strategies and definitely around starting conversations and raising up our leaders to help us with that. I think if I can just go off tangent a little bit on that, is that we're all taught to duplicate all the time. And I was listening to Sven out of Europe. He gave this presentation and he taught duplication is fine if something's working. But if it's not working, duplication can be a nightmare. And you have to be careful that you're not stopping people from innovating. Now, Adam and Kira taught us duplication. They taught me to be teachable, but they also let me innovate. And if I hadn't have innovated around some of the social media stuff that we're doing, then we probably wouldn't have had the success we had. And I think the DMO was I was able to use some of the social media skills that we had in our organization to launch brands. Like we've got a Mummies on a Mission brand that we work with. We're launching working on the Sexy CEO at the moment. It's all about creating interest and taking them through a funnel and getting on the phone and talking to them. Hopefully,
thank you.
I'm going off.
Yeah, no, that's great.
Anybody else before I quickly add another question in? Okay. So, young Bryan, any advice to the lads who are on the call? And I think there's a couple, and then anybody who'll get to watch this recording. What would you say to them as people who are coming in, very quickly into the business? What's top bit of advice you'd give them?
Yeah. So I honestly believe people buy us and buy why we do it. Not what we do, not the product we sell. People believe and trust in us. There's a book that Simon Sinek wrote about people buy why you do it, not what you do. When we shifted it to be, hey, I'm passionate about freeing mums and families, and this is where I'm going, and we are going to have 5 people at 39 Club, and we're freeing people. It was just easy. It's just easy to share our story then. Every person we speak to wants to know more information because we're passionate. My wife and I and our team are passionate about that. So if people can see that in you, and I know that it's confidence, and I know that when people first come into this business, they don't have the willingness because they don't have the belief. But as soon as you can own that, as soon as you can own where you're going, you're away. And that just filters into everything. That filters into your social media stuff. That filters into your the communication you're having with the barman, the Uber driver, whatever. Because people buy why I'm doing it, why we're doing this. So I think as soon as you can own it, this is it. It's a simple business from there.
Well, Bryan, that's been an extraordinary 30 minutes, and that's normally what the lads call art. You've been fantastic with your sharing, and I really, really appreciate that. To Matthew, Kerry, and Darren, thank you very much for jumping online as well. Hope you got something.
Thanks for arranging, Nick. And thanks, Bryan, for your time.
This is now Nick in the new techno age with the Zoom thing. Thank you for your online. So we will be having more of these type things, and these are recorded, so they will be uploaded, and then people can use that information, Bryan. And that was brilliant. That was really, really good. And really, really appreciate your time when you shared.
Awesome.
Cool. Thanks, Bryan.
All right.
Thanks, Bryan.
Thanks.
I think I'm going to hit the end recording button thingo. Yes.